Hey guys, Lexi Rosado here with Relationship Reflections. This episode that we're bringing to you is a little unique because I'm accompanied by my dear friend, Craig Derek Jones. But this episode was shot a few months ago. Craig Derek Jones. Is there anything you want to say?
It was shot a few months ago, and you can tell by the title it's a pretty heavy topic, and the show got kind of dark and kind of depressing a little bit. Because at the time I had just figured this out about myself and I was kind of bleak a little bit. Things have gotten a lot better. I'm doing better. I'm making new connections and reigniting old ones as well, and I'm getting out of the house more. She says I'm more playful than I used to be.
Mm-hmm.
You think I'm getting better, right?
I think you are, and I think it started with being vulnerable and sharing.
Yeah, it definitely helped to talk about it for an hour. We cut a lot out. We talked for like 2 hours, but this is like part 2 of our conversation, you know.
I think that's what's so exciting about being able to share with people that are safe.
Right. And yeah, it's I just want people that care about me to know that it is getting better. It's always going to be there. It doesn't go away. But I'm more social and I'm getting out of the house and it's a lot more fun to be me now, whereas it wasn't a few months ago. So thank you.
I love it. And so when you check out this episode, we just want to let you know as a disclaimer.
Because the show got pretty dark, and even physically for your people watching it, the lights started failing.
Actually went out.
So then it got really dark physically, and it just was so depressing. I'm like, it's really, things are better.
And so yeah, Craig gets to share a little bit of vulnerability, but now with time pass, you're growing, healing, and doing you.
Yeah.
Hey guys, welcome to Relationship Reflections podcast. I'm Lexi. I'm here today with my friend, Craig.
Hello.
That's it? Hello?
Hey, we've been sitting here for like 2 hours, so you know.
I know. Okay.
Whatever. Okay.
How are you feeling?
I'm pretty nervous.
I can see it.
Yeah.
Don't be. We're just talking.
I know.
If you hate it all, we'll record another day.
If I hate it all, it ain't going to be aired.
That's what I'm saying. If you hate it all, we'll just trash it.
Well, I hate it all. I hate it now, but you know.
But you have to remember the why. The why is.
Well,
it'll help you not have to explain to anybody.
There's twofold. It's one is I'm going to tell some things about me, so that hopefully I can say it once and not 30 times. You know, having to repeat it to everybody I know. And 2, just in case there may be somebody who, like me, was going through all this stuff and didn't know what was wrong with them.
Yeah. In this episode of Relationship Reflections, we are going to talk about some vulnerable and personal things that kind of lead to maybe not connecting in relationships.
Right.
And I'm joined by my friend, Craig. My friend.
Yeah, and we are friends, and I'm glad that you created like a space where I could tell you this. It was about like 2 weeks ago, I think I told you.
Yeah, you had seemed so nervous. You were like, I need to meet with you about something.
I hadn't told anyone. But there was only a few people I thought I could tell. Mm-hmm. Because most people, I think, will say, nuh-uh. When I tell them that thing, they'll be like, no, not you. You're smart, you're funny, you make people laugh, you make all these cool projects. They won't believe me. Especially if they know me a long time. They remember me. I've always been an entertainer. I entertain people, you know, to get them to like me, really. But
sometimes it's hard to read behind what is an entertainment versus what someone's real internal feelings are.
And it's hard. It's hard to say it out loud.
You're doing
Can't
great.
swear on your show, can I?
I mean, you can. You just bleep.
Bleep it out. Might have to bleep a lot on this one. I just thought I was introverted and a loner. I always have been. I've had friends, great friends. I have. You're one of them. I make friendships, but it's people that come to me. I don't know how to reach out, and the friends I have are friends that
pursue you.
Yeah. I don't know if it was always this bad what it is now, but it is full blown, and I have, they call it avoidant personality disorder, and it is. It's a disorder. It's like, because I would have anxiety and I would have, extreme introversion, and I thought I was, anxiety. I thought, well, I just have anxiety, but my life was stagnant, because remember, I used to work all the time, constantly.
Yeah.
And then I started to slow down, and I started to get kind of depressed, like, what's going on here? And I went to go talk to someone, and the more we talked, the more she realized that it wasn't just anxiety, was like a symptom of it. Some people have anxiety and they can treat anxiety and it's good. That's not what I have. It's like this thing inside you where you just avoid social interactions. I spend so much time alone. Being such a creative person,
it's easy to hide in that.
Yeah, I get lost in it. I don't get bored ever. I can be sitting in, a tire shop waiting for my tires to get done for 2 hours. And I'm just, I don't even look at my phone. It's just, I'm constantly, especially lately, been writing a lot of music again. So it's like, aside of working as an artist for a living, shooting, with the camera and stuff and doing audio visual stuff. Luckily, my version is it's mild. It's like I told you earlier, the woman I'm talking to, she said that the stuff that they would normally tell someone like me to do, instinctively I was already doing it. It's like I was already trying to fix myself.
Yeah.
It didn't work, but it's like with people like me, it's like we don't want to enter into any social anything unless we are 100% that we 100% know that we're wanted there.
That you're accepted, wanted.
Because we feel innately, our default is to feel inferior to other people.
So it's called avoidant personality disorder?
I hate that it's called disorder, because people think disorder, they think, the big one, the internet with the narcissistic personality disorder. They'll be like, oh, Craig's got a disorder. Don't hire him. Don't work with him. Don't talk to him. But
yeah,
I think if people hear about this episode but don't watch it, they'll be like, oh, he's got a disorder. Oh, don't talk to him. That worries me. That they won't hire me.
I think that makes sense to feel worried about that. But I think you and I have even talked about, in the field you're in, people accept and love you and want your talent.
Well, that was one thing that because I had asked the woman I'm talking to, I said, well, why is it that because when I started going to LCC to learn how to do this stuff, I started to feel confident. I started to feel wanted and needed almost by some people. Her guess was that it's because I earned it, because I know I'm a badass filmmaker. I know I'm
because you put in the work and built the confidence.
Yeah, and I just was a natural. I just took to it so fast that when people call me and they want me to come help shoot, they want me there, and I know they want me there. I've earned that.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's that thing where I 100% know that they're calling, even if I don't really know how to shoot what they want me to. I know that I will figure it out. And I know they're calling me because they know me or know my reputation.
Right.
And
I think that's what you have to sit in. And anybody who wouldn't want to work with you for whatever reason is not meant to work with you, because you have plenty of people who want to work with you.
I know. And people usually enjoy working with me. Sometimes, I'm a human. I can be an idiot sometimes.
Whatever. We all love working with you.
I can be a jerk sometimes, but
and me too. And everybody laughs.
But even then, working with people, like the cast and crew all want to go hang out afterwards, and I don't go. Or if I do go,
there's still
I leave
part
early.
Of you.
I leave early. It's like I leave. That's how she got me. The woman I'm talking to, she's. When
you say the woman you're talking to, you mean the woman who's helping you process this?
Yeah. It's not romantic. No,
that's what I'm saying.
I don't have that because I can't do that. That's how, because I didn't believe it. I was like, I have friends. I have, people in my life. She's, but I'm always alone, though. I'm always hanging out by myself. My kids, they come visit me, but they 100% love me. I'm not worried about that.
Interesting.
My kids and I work with filmmakers every day, and those are the people I work with here. I love them. They're like family to me.
Family.
But my first 2 years working here, they were always inviting me to go hang out with them. I didn't.
So it took 2 years of trust building.
I still don't hang out with them.
All the time.
At all. I love them. But they're like, hey, we're all good. They don't even ask me anymore. I think they just stopped asking.
Now that I think about it, you and I meeting 2 weeks ago just alone to talk about this episode and talk about the diagnosis, right, was the first time you and I actually just went out.
And of course, you want me to meet you in this place with all these people, and we keep running into people. People kept coming up to talk to us, and I'm like so uncomfortable.
And you still hadn't even shared.
I loved those people.
But there was a point towards the end. I was like, okay, we need to shut all these conversations down and just have this conversation because I still didn't know yet.
I know. I'm sorry.
I'm grateful you shared. So, how did you feel, Craig, when you got?
But let me tell you what, because that's where I was getting to, how she got me. Because I didn't want to. I was like, I've had tons of girlfriends in my life, none in the last few years. I was like, I can't be this, But because she's really good at listening, and she had got to this point where she said, okay, you say you always leave these parties and stuff, in social gatherings early. And I said, yeah, because I have to work in the morning. And I always do, because I'm always getting up to work. I said, so I'm not lying. I got to go home. I got work. I work a lot. I work 7 days a week, 3 gigs a day sometimes, And she said, well, when you go home, do you go to bed? And I don't. I'll leave a situation. Last time this happened, I was talking to a woman that I really liked talking to. But my go-to is get out of here before you say something stupid. I didn't even know I was feeling that, but it's just like, okay, get out of here, leave them wanting more, just always go. And they'll remember, oh yeah, that guy was cool. Don't stay long enough for them to hate you. I remember that night I went to Myers after. I told them I had to go because I get up. I went to Myers, bought some food, went home, cooked it, stayed up till 2 a.m. Continuing the conversation in my head, even at points.
And
which was safer than actually sitting there and talking to her.
And what is the conversation in your head?
More of what I was.
You would have said?
No, more of the conversation that I was having. Yeah, it's because it made me feel good to talk to her.
But you wanted to avoid it because there's this feeling. Is that the inferiority?
It's not wanting to. It just happens. It's not like a conscious decision.
Yeah.
And I think I really believed myself when I was saying I got to go home. I didn't have to go home. A friend of mine who I love, she's a wonderful person. She asked me to go to a concert with her. I haven't seen her forever. And I told her I had to work. I couldn't go, which was true. I went to work the night of the concert. I was like, I could have gotten out of this. I could have went with her. Why am I sitting here doing this when I could be hanging out talking to my friend? I'd even do it with my friends now, the people that I know love me, that I'm safe with. It's gotten so bad, I don't say yes to anyone. I just stay home.
Is there a way to create coping strategies or pattern disruptors to kind of redirect to create new behaviors? Like what did the person you're talking to share?
Apparently being aware of it is something that helps.
So that's step one.
So far, it really hasn't. I want to talk to people. I want to reach out. I have friends. I have, wonderful friends. And one thing people don't understand is it doesn't mean, people like me, we're not desperate. It's like, Well,
like, I don't need you to fix me. I don't need you to come.
Well, no, what is they'll be like, well, why don't you be friends with that person? They really like us, but I don't like that person. You know, it's not, you're not just want to be friends with everyone.
Anybody, yeah.
That's hard for people to understand. Like, just go be friends.
But that's real with anybody. I ain't trying to be
like, I don't like you, man. You know.
Yeah.
But I want to be able to, like, the loneliest I get is when I'm working an out-of-town gig, sporting event, and I'm driving home.
Mm-hmm.
It's usually like 10, 11 o'clock at night. It's too late to call anybody, you know. I'm driving home.
You can call me.
Yeah.
I never sleep.
No, that's the thing. I can't call you. Because my default is like, you don't want to talk to me. And I know you do, but it's what it is. And I know that, because it's those days, you know, the times when my son's not with me. If I don't make it home, nobody's going to know. It's like I don't exist. Like, it'll be a few days before somebody would know. Like, if it's a Friday night, I'm driving home from a gig, I don't have to be anywhere till Sunday morning.
Yeah.
No one's gonna know that I don't get home. You know, it's like knowing that makes me so lonely. Then I get home, you know, at midnight. I'm not tired.
Mm-hmm.
But because of this thing, I can't enter into a companionship with somebody that I could call that late with. I can't. There are for some reason, I don't understand it, okay? The past, since like November, how are we doing? Okay.
Yeah.
From like probably October last year till recently, I don't know why, I'm the least attractive I've ever been in my life. And I'm at the age where I ain't gonna get better looking. Women have...
Everybody wants some of them, Craig.
They have been, you've seen it. They've come
Everybody
after me.
wants some Craig.
It's been, I don't know why. It's hard because I don't feel like I'm ready for that because, you know, my clothes look like hand-me-downs. I'm losing weight, but I'm a big guy. So I'm like, well, they're not gonna want me. I'm plus size. Or, you know, I live in I rent this tiny place that looks like a warehouse. So it's like, I want to buy a home next year. And I'm thinking, well, let me lose about 50 more pounds, keep doing what I'm doing. Let me buy a home so there's more room. And then I can say yes to one of these women. But the thing is, I'll find some other reason.
To disqualify yourself.
Yeah.
Even in this moment, I'm having a really hard time hearing the way you talk about yourself because you know the people that love you don't see you that way.
And when I have to apologize to you, when I told you this, you were trying to tell me how you see me, and I wouldn't let you. I kept making jokes and deflecting. I didn't hear anything you said because I kept interrupting you, and
that's okay.
I just couldn't hear it. I didn't want to hear it because it doesn't matter. You know, it's...
Yeah. And that's where, first off, that's okay. All of you is welcome here. Like, I think so many times we expect people to be a certain way instead of accepting people in process, and you've accepted me in process.
Yeah.
And I think it's very brave of you to share. I think learning something new, accepting it, sharing it, I think that is a part of healing and finding
I don't know.
It's the same when people live with other things. Like I battle self-harming and suicide ideation from when I was a little girl.
Yeah,
and as an adult, people would never know that like it was only even a year ago I had visions of that.
That might be one of the reasons I did talk to you, because you have this put together thing. But I know you. I know that underneath there's a bunch of mess, just like everybody else, just like everyone. And if anyone was going to listen and not tell me, you know, because they've seen me, like we were talking earlier, there's a mask. I know how to turn it on. I'm an entertainer. I know how to make a room laugh.
Right.
But I don't know how to connect with anyone in it, though. I leave before anyone can talk to me. It's like, I'm not being fake.
You're seeing the 30%?
Yeah.
That's what we said.
It's the 30% that is there and it's real. But then there's that other part.
There's that 70%
that no one
that's
sees.
more real.
Right.
There's the real you behind the you.
I don't know if it's more real. It's just another part that they don't get to see. You know.
For me, I would say it's the more real part.
I don't know. It doesn't feel like, to me, it doesn't feel like either one's
less.
more.
You're not ranking it.
Because I can't make people laugh if I'm not funny. You know, it's like, I make the office laugh a lot. Sometimes I'll talk too much in the office because I don't know if I should be quiet or not. I don't know when I'm supposed to talk. I don't know when I'm supposed to be quiet. I don't know how to fit in. So I have to figure it out. There's always like an internal monologue going on when I'm talking. It's like a think about it first, then say it. But when I do make a real connection like I have with you, I don't do that.
You just do. You just talk.
You're
just being yourself.
And
not worried.
Right, and that's
which I'm grateful because I feel like it'd be exhausting. Like that's not.
It is.
It's hard.
It's hard, and that's why I don't talk. Like you know, the first year you knew me, I didn't say nothing to you. You know, you're just persistent. You know? Like I have a friend, she was like that, persistent and just patient. Now we have quarterly planned tea time where I just like
I love that.
Go visit her for 2 hours and she makes tea for me. I don't like tea, but I like the way she makes it. So we sit there and we talk and
I love that.
But you know, it's like it took me so long to I knew her for years before I would, because this is why I love her, because she would always ask me, hey, come to my house for Christmas. I know you're sitting at home by yourself. You know, come over. Don't sit.
You felt wanted, seen.
Don't sit noticed. At home. But I never went though. But I love that she was asking me.
But the persistence, yeah.
You know,
because even that plants seeds, right? That,
right.
Hey, I am known. I am seen. I am being pursued.
Like another friend of mine, when I thought I was going to be kicked out of a place I was renting, and I wasn't going to be able to. I knew I'd be okay, but it was frustrating, you know.
Yo, I feel like I wanted to check in on you every day during that time.
Dude, it was a rough time. But, because it just messed with my plan. I had plans and but one of my friends.
And it feels unstable, which
one
is
of my
scary.
friends reached out to me, and she didn't have to do this, but she was like, and we're not even that good of friends, but I love her forever because of this. She's like, hey, I own a duplex. I live in one. I'm just using the upstairs for light storage right now, the unit, if you need a place to rest your head. Or you need a place to store some stuff.
That's so awesome.
And, you know, I wanted to cry when I read it because I don't ask for help. Because I don't think anyone wants to. And it's not based on anything that anyone does.
It's this internal dialogue.
Right. And I just, like my mother said to me, she's like, Craig, you're not alone. You ask for help. And she don't understand. I can't ask for help. I want to sometimes, but I'm always finding a way to do it myself.
See, and even in this moment, I'm like, I recognize the mental, emotional dialogue barriers, but I'm also like, look, there's evidence. Like there's this desire, Miss Motivator, Lex Flex is like, look, there's evidence you're loved. Look, like you're valued. Let me tell you all the amazing things I see about you. But I think so many times, especially when it comes to anything that relates to things we don't understand, we try to fix things instead of just listening and being in it.
I know.
And I think that is what's really important about this. It's like, yo, I'm your friend in this. I'm not trying to fix you.
Yeah,
I just love
you care enough to want to, and that's what I'm trying to take away from it.
But I care enough to go, hey, even if you feel that way, I want you to know what is true for me, which is I see you as incredible and amazing and talented and one of the best videographers I know, and I want to take you everywhere around the world with me.
That I can take.
I'm a bestie.
That's my thing. The camera stuff, I'm totally comfortable.
And what if you could get that way in other categories of your life? Like, is there a way? I'm asking a question I don't know. Like, I'm asking a question that might be ignorant, and I hope it's not offensive. But it's like,
no, it's just
if there's a way that you could do that in videography, like do a process to get to a place of confidence and know you're wanted in there, isn't there a way to duplicate that in other categories of your life?
No, because of the process the creative process for me isn't really, I think we talked about this before, a collaborative one. I am a self-contained unit. I write the script, I shoot it, I edit it, I write the music for it, I do everything. And that's not saying I don't work with people, because I do, but the creative process has always been a solitary one for me. But I got so good at it
that you decided to share it
that that it kicks the door open, you know.
Or people start knocking on your door, and then you say, okay.
Yeah. And I told you, you know, in the 90s I wrote music constantly. Then I got married and I stopped for some reason. But I've been writing music lately a lot, and it's been great, and I'm like feeling great, and then I realized I'm doing all this by myself. It's just another thing that I'm doing by myself. I'm not going to stop because I love it, but it's not helping me. But in the short term it does. It makes me feel better.
What if it is helping you though?
Oh, it's not. Stuff I'm writing about, nah.
Ay, Dios mío.
But it's a lot of longing, a lot of wishing, a lot of, you know.
I do that in poetry a lot too. It's a healthy space to leave it
but see, that's
out
the
there.
difference. I'm not gonna let people hear this. They're like friends and family.
There's a lot of stuff I ain't letting nobody hear either.
Right. Yeah.
But some stuff you do. What do you hope people get out of this? Why are you choosing to share in such a vulnerable, honest
One thing,
way?
because I think I started talking about it, that I want women to know that reached out to me and tried. They may feel like I rejected them or I ignored them, but it wasn't them. I hope that if anyone watches, they would know that. I mean, there were a few I'm like, nah, they earned me not talking to them, but
you earned it.
Most of them were very wonderful, very nice people. I just can't receive what they were trying to give me. And I hope that they're not walking around, if they are walking around kind of salty about it. If you're listening, I didn't reject you. I rejected myself. It's not something that I want to do. Some of them, as I've told you, some of them I kind of liked, man, but it's like, well, they won't like me.
There's this
They think they like me, but they're not going to. And I didn't even realize how deep it was until I, started talking to somebody.
But that's the thing. I think the thing about fear and these rejection wounds, they have to come from somewhere. So my question is, did the therapist or the woman that you're talking to, did she share? Does anything of this come from?
There's not one thing.
Okay.
There's a lot of things.
Compounded wounds,
because it's just just stuff over the years. And when I went to school, and then my ex-wife decided to leave, I think that's when it all started to really solidify, because I was loving my new life while I was losing my old one, and I threw myself into being a parent and learning and working all these audiovisual jobs because I was so happy doing it. And I was able to create this space in life where that's what I am. I'm a dad, and I'm an audiovisual guy. And those are the two things I do well. That's it. That's all I really have been doing. And then once I decided to not work as much because I wanted more of a social experience, I realized I don't have anybody. It's not that I don't have people. I got friends. And the friends I had before I became an audiovisual guy, they're still my friends. I see them once a year maybe, but when I run into them, it's like, hey, call me. I was like, okay, and I don't. And it's nothing that they're doing. It's nothing anyone's doing.
Earlier,
I guess that's another thing I want people to know. It's because they'll be like, but I'm here for you. It's not about that. It's not.
You're sharing because you want to feel understood.
No, I don't want to hurt people. And I think they're hurt because I think they think that I don't like them, that I don't want to know them, and I do.
But you can't control how people receive things.
But I didn't even know. Like,
you were pushing people away.
There's that interview with Jerry from a year ago that everyone loves.
Yeah.
Everything I said
was honest,
but when I watched it the other day, I could see myself talking around my condition. Because I didn't know it then, but I could see myself making excuses, and everything I said was true, but I could see myself rationalizing my way out of it, and ignoring it. a lot of ways.
Okay, so now you learned something new about yourself. What's next? This is a step, right? It's letting people know you don't want to hurt people, so this is a way to kind of like give an explanation. But as your friend, I'm like, yo, let's conquer this thing. You're amazing. Let's remove the limiting belief. Let's get uncomfortable. I'll walk alongside of you.
I don't think it does get better.
But depression can get better.
I think I've learned to live with it, and I've learned to understand it. I'm still trying to come to grips with it, come to terms with it, because I'd be thinking about, was there ever a time where I could make friends? Yeah, when I was younger. Was there ever a time when I could go?
But you really believe in your heart of hearts it can't get better? Because there's people that battle. I was a self-harmer as a kid, and people don't even know that.
I think I may have gone so far that I don't even know how to change it. I don't even know. It's been years of isolation now that I didn't even know I was doing.
But even if there's a 2% chance, it's worth it.
Well, I'm sure there is, but you know.
Then it's 2%.
Then there's a chance. Yeah, right. Yeah.
I mean, it's the same way people can't walk or whatever.
But
I mean,
you know, you could talk about the harm thing. I want everyone to know I have no desire to hurt myself or kill myself, or I don't ever want to die. To be honest, you know, that never crosses my mind.
Thank you for clarifying that.
As lonely as I get.
Yeah.
And that's what I heard, that most people like me aren't suicidal. We don't, you know, we just...
Like there is a limit.
Well, normally most of us feel, from the way I understood it, most of us feel like we're just awkward and that people just don't like us.
Which is crazy because you're one of my favorite people.
But I'm not normal, though. Come on now. I'm not like...
But none of us
I'm not
are.
like other people, and that's one of the things you like the most about me. You're just one of those people that zeroes in on the things that are different, and you just like those things.
Love it.
But that's okay. It's supposed to be that way.
And we sharpen each other. We make each other better in different ways. And my super crazy high energy brings out things in you. And
yeah, you start here and I'm here. And it's kind of like I bring you down a little bit and you bring me up. But it's never here. It's never equal. No, it's like, you know. But that's okay. It just, I really want everyone to know that it's not you. It's just not.
I also think you said you want people who maybe have the same thing that maybe never realized it.
Well, it's rare, but it's real, and you have to. It's hard not to hate yourself, and it's hard. You don't want to believe that people love you, and I think in times in my life, I may have punished people for loving me because I didn't see how they could. Luckily, I've made amends with all those people, and they all love me now, and I love them.
They probably all loved you the whole time.
But the women who tried to love me, this is, you know, years ago, but I couldn't receive it. I couldn't accept it, you know, not fully. Sorry, there's no close-up anymore. That camera died. You know. Of me.
For all the production people who watch.
You can have the close-up of her, and that's great, but, you know.
Okay. I think a lot of people are going to relate with certain aspects of the things you shared.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I even have to remember in this moment, but you're sharing that you're carrying all these things at the same time. But for somebody who is out there who's like, yo, I can relate to this aspect and this aspect and this aspect, does that make you feel like you're not alone?
No.
Okay.
Because I'm going to go home and I'm still going to be by myself, and it doesn't really matter.
So if we have a big sleepover and like 10 people come over?
I would hate that. Because it'd be a bunch of people I don't know, and that's a lot of things. People are like, oh, you just need to get out there. That's terrifying to me. That doesn't help me.
Yeah.
I want to leave as soon as, you know, I need one-on-one stuff with people. I can get to know groups of people, but it takes a while, you know. I really don't see a way out of it. I just hope that I can fully throw myself into the creative aspect of things, and that does draw people to me. You know, I just didn't like that, but it does. It draws people to me. I think I'm gonna leave social media alone for a while, because
after this gets released, do you think you are for a little bit?
Yeah, just because I use it to entertain people anyway. I don't really want to. I don't know. It's like, I'll still check on people because no one calls you anymore. If someone dies, they put it there. I got to find out through social media. But post a little bit here and there. But I just, once I found out about this about myself, it's like, I don't want to do it anymore. It's not enough. You know, I want more. And I think typing into an algorithm is not good for us. I don't think it helps someone like me. I think it makes it worse. I need real face-to-face or even telephone conversations, hearing someone's voice. I need that. But not just with anyone, you know. But people I can relate to. I'm a good listener, as you know. I'm there for people if they need me. I just don't know how to reach out to them and when I need them, because I don't know how to need anyone, because I don't think I'm supposed to. And then we can end it there.
This episode's hard for me because I think there is this like super strong desire to like listen, have empathy, but then also be like, let's end on a we will. But I think as you're learning about yourself, if that's a mindset that you gain, that's something that you have to decide, or if it's possible. And the only reason why my mind, I am not in the same shoes as you, so I don't know, right? But I just know what it's like to battle something and be like, I don't think it'll get better. This is the worst it's gonna get. Like, I'm stuck. And the amount of work I've taken to get unstuck, and I still feel restuck all the time, and then I have to get unstuck. But I almost wonder, like, if that's a part of, like, the process. I think about the thorn in our flesh. Like, do we all have something that is holding us back, whether it's a childhood trauma or it's a sickness, like, you know, people have diabetes and things like that. Like, is it possible that all of us have something? They're just different. And that's just kind of like my big lens thought process. And so maybe you've discovered what yours has been this whole time and putting a name and a face to it. And then me, I didn't realize what mine was.
Yeah.
Till I really like started facing my junk. And then I was like, oh my goodness, this comes from a self-hatred wound. That self-hatred wound actually showed up when I self-harm. It showed up in these suicide ideation dreams, which I've never attempted anything, thank God. But like that self-hatred still comes up in insecurity in weird ways. So I think like knowing a root, you're finding out all the things that come up because of it.
Yeah.
But is it possible that all of us have something?
Everyone has something.
Yeah.
That's why I think I always was trying to find ways to fix myself, because
we all are.
I was like, I have to, because I'm smart. There has to be a reason. There has to be a way I can fix myself. And that's the biggest problem. You try to tell somebody something about you, they'll be like, no, you're smart. You'll figure it out. You're funny. People like you. It doesn't work. You know, you try, but I figure I'll just keep doing what I'm best at. And hopefully, you know, things get better. I don't have a bad life. Well, I do, but I'm fixing it, though. You know, it's like, gonna move into a different place next year, losing the extra weight. I mean,
we're all
I'm bettering myself, of course.
Correct.
But that only goes so far. You know, it's like, I hate that it's a disorder, but it is, because it doesn't, it's like this companion. It just doesn't go away. It just doesn't feel right, and you don't feel right anywhere, and no one's going to like you. No one wants to care about you. People don't like you. If you talk too long, they're not going to like you. They don't want you there. You're
in this
too
moment,
old.
I'm like, but that's not true.
You're too
I
old.
love you.
You know, I'm so much
I want you to
older than
talk
everybody
more.
I work with. You're too old. You're too overweight. You're too this. You're too that. You're too black. You're too white. There's just all this stuff, and I think it's because it's new. I don't see a way out of it, but of course there can be a way out of it.
What would a miracle be? What would a dream life be? Because I feel like there was a time I was like,
honey,
man.
I don't do that.
Okay, fine.
Hypotheticals, dreaming, I don't do all that. So, dude, I can't even go talk to people when they ask me to come to their house. Which I'm going to tell you about my horrible date experience, because I'm not going to get into it.
Is that what
now.
happened today? That
No,
we had a bad day?
not today.
Oh, okay, right.
But I
we didn't get to talk about what was the
when
bad
I
day.
told you all these women were coming after me, and I
you did
I
tell me
made
about
myself
you
say
did tell
yes.
me.
I say yes to 3 people.
You did tell me.
Each one got successively worse until
You
the last
told me
one.
the last one
But
just-
I didn't tell you the whole thing.
Done ruined it.
If we had
I
more
think-
camera space, I would tell.
No,
Only
no,
reason
no,
I
no,
would,
no, no.
only reason I would tell is because I'd want people to understand the concept of someone who's trying to herd you into a place you don't want to be. And
I think you did tell me
And
this.
I am the person who doesn't want to walk away from a chaotic moment. I'm a problem solver. I want to fix it before I leave.
Yeah.
And this person was just throwing every angle she could at me to get me to stay.
You told me.
I was traumatized. I'm gonna tell you the whole story.
No,
when we're
you
done.
did tell me one time, but you gotta tell me
I'm gonna tell
more.
you
Tell me.
everything.
Okay.
And listen, it'll be okay for you to laugh. You know, hey, we're done.
The lights
we're in
are
the
done.
dark. We're in the dark.
We're
we talked too long.
done. This was vulnerable. I like that we ended with kind of something funny. We love you.
Yeah.
All the lights are off for those that can't see the video and only hear the audio.
Well, thank you. Thank you for letting me talk.
Thanks for being vulnerable. Thanks for being my friend. Thanks for trusting me enough to be in your life to now, knowing all the barriers and some of the difficult hurdles.
Wait, hold on.
Okay.
There, we can sort of see a
little bit?
Yeah, a little bit. There you go. Okay. Anyway, thank you.
I love you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for being my friend. Thanks for jumping every hurdle to
This was really difficult for me, and I was afraid I was gonna cry and shit, but you made it to where I felt comfortable and I didn't have to. So, been dreading this ever since we talked about it, but
whether you use it or don't use it, I think just talking about it is really good.
And you're right, it can get better. I don't want to be sitting there, you can never get better. I don't want to tell people that. It can get better.
Well, and I want to apologize because I think part of good listening is not trying to push a view, but I think, again, that's why I'm saying, as a friend, I am biased. And my bias is I want my friends to feel the best self.
Yeah, I know. It's okay. It's going to be all right.
It is. It will be. You already have been all right.
I haven't been. But I'm funny and smart, so it
Maybe,
seems like
maybe you're not at 100% where you want to be.
No, I'm definitely not where I want to be. But I'm thankful for my friends, the ones who do reach out, and even if they don't, I know they care.
And hey, friends, if you feel like you can relate,
talk to someone. Don't try and figure it out yourself.
Talk to somebody. Are you somebody that you would be okay if people were like, I saw your episode and I related? Would you want people to talk to you? No.
To me, no.
Okay.
Because I don't.
You can talk to people, but don't talk to Greg.
They need to talk to a real, somebody trained in it. Nothing against anyone who has to see a therapist for the rest of their lives. I'm not one of those. I'm not going to do that.
I am.
I'm going to see somebody until a few times, figure out what's
Really?
going
I
on,
want
and then
some
figure it out,
I
and then
love
take
me
care
some
of it.
maintenance.
Because I'm a problem solver. I don't need, but.
I love me some maintenance. I'm pro mental health.
But I think
for the rest of your life.
I think if there is something wrong and you can't figure out what it is, why you keep ending up in the same place, it's time to go talk to somebody.
You're right. And that concludes our episode. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you.
I'm glad.
I'm so blessed God brought you into my life. And I'm so blessed we've built a friendship. I'm so blessed at all of the amazing projects we've done. And I'm looking forward to more. But I also just love knowing you.
We're not blessed that all our stuff failed because we talked too much in the other segment. Everything
You know
died.
what, though? Everything
died.
is keeping it real.
All the batteries died. It's like, and I'm the audiovisual king, and we just
You were like, I don't have a backup, but it's
because I thought we were going to talk for a half hour. You told me we was going to talk about this and be
but
done.
Then
and
what
then we
happened was we don't talk about 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 topics.
I know.
I think that just means we should do this more often.
No, we shouldn't.
Yeah, we should.
No.
Yeah, we should.
We're fine. It's good.
And that concludes Relationship Reflections.
Oh, Lord.
Hoodles. Well, the fact I got ready, showered, and did my hair in that fast was insane.
Hey, man, I'm still recording. Be quiet.
Was insane.